Good afternoon, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. Hope everybody is well. So the rumour mill is in full swing. Last 24 hours news coming out left, right and centre. Whether you choose to believe it or not is a different matter. We will start and talk about Clement Lenglet. Apparently, the noises coming out today are that Spurs are back in negotiations for Clement Lenglet. Also, that Spurs are about to bid for Tosin Adarabioyo, the 25-year-old centre-back from Fulham. Apparently Joe Lewis has demanded that Harry Kane is sold and isn't walking away for a free. And Pierre Højbjerg has agreed personal terms with Atletico Madrid. Do we believe all of this? Let's get into it right after this. So, good afternoon. It's never dull at Tottenham Hotspur. We know that. It's never dull, and Spurs go cheap. Cheap like the budgie. I'm not going to apologise anymore. I'm not even going to keep explaining myself as to why. Everyone knows why we go cheap. It's Daniel Levy. It is what we do. For weeks and weeks and weeks, for nearly 5 weeks it is now, Spurs have been in talks apparently with Wolfsburg and Leverkusen for Van de Ven and Tapsoba. But the noises coming out of Spurs today isn't about either of those two players. It was actually yesterday when Eccleshare said that both of those deals were elusive. So now the big news coming out is that Spurs want Clement Lenglet, and we're going to have conversations with Barcelona again about bringing him in. A bloke who was part of one of our worst Premier League defensive records ever. Let's bring him back. A round of applause to Tottenham Hotspur and the way we run our club. If Clement Lenglet comes back, a centre-half who isn't good enough for, isn't quick, so can't play in Postecoglou's 4 with a high line, is slow, lethargic, and we're going to bring him back. Really? We're going to bring him back? I don't care whether it's 5 million. I don't care if they're paying us to have him. This is dreadful. This would be systematic of how Tottenham has been run. And if this happens, then you just know that this new manager, again, isn't going to be backed. And when I say backed, I'm not talking big players. I'm just talking players like Van de Ven. It's an absolute shambolic state of affairs. I do not want Clement Lenglet. I don't think many want Clement Lenglet. Listen, he seems like a nice guy. I think he had loads of promise 4 or 5 years ago. Since then, he seems to have lost his way. And we just can't be signing a player of that ilk. Surely, for a manager that plays a back 4 and a high line, surely we can't be doing this. What do you make of the Lenglet rumours? What do you make of them? They won't go away, which is frustrating. You have the school of thought that if we were going to buy him, we would have done it already. And then other people saying, well, we'll wait till the end so that we can show that we've tried to get in the Tapsoba's example, but couldn't, so went for Lenglet. Then the other report coming out is this. This is what was said. So Tosin Adarabioyo there is a growing expectation at Tottenham Hotspur that we will make a bid for Fulham's Tosin Adarabioyo as a centre-back arrival. The 25-year-old is believed to be keen on the move. And that was from Alistair Gold. Now, let's break this down. Of course, Tosin Adarabioyo is going to be interested in the move to Tottenham Hotspur. He will double his wages. He'll move from Fulham, no disrespect to them, to Tottenham Hotspur. We're a bigger club. He's going to get more money. And of course, he's going to move to Tottenham Hotspur. I don't feel there's any reason why he wouldn't be interested. Now, I've got no issue with Tosin Adarabioyo. For me, if he was one of our 4 centre-backs, I've not got a problem with it. What I do know is, though, he can't come in and be the only centre-back we sign. If we sign Tosin Adarabioyo, we have got to go and get another centre-back as well, whether that's Tapsoba, whether that's Van de Ven. It can't be Lenglet, but you've got to go and get another centre-half as well. We cannot have just Tosin and Romero with Dyer and Davis and Sanchez and Rodon and Tanganga as our backups. That can't be happening at Tottenham Hotspur. We really, really can't be doing that. I like him, but again, like the title says, which is up there, I think, up there somewhere. Cheap. Tosin, they reckon it's going to be between 20 and 25 million. He's cheap. And funnily enough, like all the other deals we've done recently, has 1 year left on his contract. That's what we do. This is the route we're heading down. Please open your eyes, people. Now, I'm not knocking Tosin. I'm happy for Spurs to sign him. But it feels like because we can't get the main targets over the line that aren't even that expensive, by the way. Let's be honest. I think Tapsoba works out at £44 million. And Van der Ven, I think, works out something like £27 million. We're not talking about £100 million players. But if you can't go and get those targets, it feels like now, let's go and get a cheap player. He's not a bad player. I don't think he's terrible. I think he's okay. I'm happy to have him as one of the four. But it just screams cheap, cheap, cheap. Again, when is this club going to act properly? What do you make of Adebayo? Do you want to see him come in? I've got a feeling I'm going to get a lot of positive comments about him. I think I'm going to get a lot of negative comments about him. I'm somewhere in the middle. I just feel that it stinks of cheap again. It almost feels like we really don't want to go and get top centre-backs. Let me know what you think in the comments. Other reports going around today. This actually went round last night. And I'm going to read this out. That at the Telegraph Ducker has said Daniel Levy has been told by Joe Lewis he must sell Harry Kane if no new Tottenham contract is signed. Where do you stand with that? Where do you stand with that? Does anyone believe that Joe Lewis has suddenly got an interest in this football club? Now, again, we can look at this one of two ways. Joe Lewis has had nothing to do with us for years and years and years, and lets Levy run it. But it is a lot of money to let go on a free, isn't it? Versus maybe 100 million. Do we believe that Joe Lewis is interested? Do we truly think we're going down that route? The route where Joe Lewis now gets involved? Why would he now? I don't believe it. Interested to know what you guys believe. But what makes me laugh more than anything at Tottenham Hotspur is the noises around this club and how little actually gets done is absolutely shocking. Reports are coming out this second, just the last couple of minutes, from Damasio, that Bayern have internally discussed the idea of including a potential buyback clause after 2 to 3 years in a deal for Tottenham's Harry Kane in the hope to satisfy Daniel Levy. So sell him for what, 85, 90 million. We get the chance to buy him back when he's 33 years of age. He comes back and gets the top goal scorer's record. How do you all see that? Is that something that you would like to see? The buyback clause? Isn't that then desperation again, that it's like we can't let go of Kane? Is it sensible because it allows Kane to still feel attached to this club? Will Kane want to come back? Just because there's a buyback clause, would he want to come back? So all of these different questions. But it is a funny time to be at Spurs. The last bit of news that's come out in the last 24 hours from Gary Jacob is that Pierre Højbjerg has agreed personal terms with Atletico Madrid. Again, this has started people's tongues wagging. Don't lose the Viking, you're hearing. Get rid of the Viking, you're hearing. We can't afford to lose him. We won't bring in anyone better. But most clubs would let a player like Højbjerg go, who's a decent player, he's an average footballer. They would let him go, give the money to the manager, and go and buy somebody that's more suited to the team, more suited to the system and the ethos and the philosophy that this manager plays. A DM, if you will. Somebody in midfield with better legs to get up and back, sorry. At Spurs, do we worry that won't happen? Will we sell Højbjerg for maybe £30 million and then we won't give the money to the manager? Do we trust the manager to buy the players? Who's buying them? Is Paratici still involved? What's Scott Munn doing with it all? There's just so many questions at this football club that are unanswered. Hey, please like, please subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for following. Apologies if people think I'm negative. I've been speaking like this for the last 15, 20 years, and it's all still true. When we've got a football fan in show, it gives you a chance to vent, to praise, whatever you want to do. Some people might be happy. That's tonight, 7:45 p.m. Please join me then. I'll see you soon. Take care. Please like. Bye-bye.